Today I want to show you a topic that will require some mechanical skills and hardware tools, and actually no software. So kind of a premiere for our ETOS tutorials. I want to show you how you can change the door limitation angle of ETOS easily, and also how to modify the side to which the door of ETOS will open. All of that can be done without any special tools and just with some good mechanical skills. So let's get started here. First up, we want to change the angle where the door is limited. Therefore, we only have to take caution of these 4 screws here. So we have 4 possible mounting positions that will bring us the 4 locking angles. First one always a bit tricky. So the last part is to adjust the single screw at the bottom, which is used to trigger the light switch or the door switch of the cabinet. This is done. So in the next step, we're going to change the side to which the door opens. So let's get started changing the side to which the door opens. We're going to display the tools here in a separate screen at the side. So first up, we need to disconnect the grounding connection, the grounding band on both sides. Next step, we need to deattach the locking mechanism of the door. Take caution for the little washers. So, door lock has to come off. And the last part will be these 2 upper parts of the locking mechanism. Now you can carefully pull off the whole assembly. Last part, the lower side of the door locking mechanism. So if you have this, you can take out the actual door lock, which we're gonna need to mount on the other side. Now the 2 blind covers inside the door need to be released for the later installation of the door lock. Next one, we need to unhinge the door locking mechanism itself. So we use a little circlip on the inside, which we have to take off. Then we can unlock that part and in the next step, dismount the actual door. Good. So now the whole door is ready for dismantling. Okay, now we need to move the door lock from this side to the other side here, the attachment. So now last one, the actual 4 screws holding the door in the angle. I'm going to start with from the bottom. So now the 2 at the top. So that's the way to take the door off. Next one is locking mechanism and the door angles to be swapped. Now we have the whole door removed and we're ready for the reassembly to the other direction. So the last step we need to do is move these little silicone bumpers here from this side to the other side. Okay, now we're ready to reassemble the door in the mirrored way, so in the opposite way for the other side. So let's get started with the next step to install the door hinges. So you can place the door hinge carefully inside the holes on the door. My recommendation here is don't tighten them all the way. Bring them in place so later when you adjust it versus the actual door, the actual cabinet, it's easier to install it. Now with the door hinges set, we can bring the door into place. So it's going to be easier if you're 2. Let's see. So now you want to try to align the door hinge as good as possible, and then you can tighten the 2 screws properly. Take care for the torque, which is mentioned in the graphic. Now don't forget to properly tighten 2 screws inside the door hinge. Proceed in the similar way at the bottom of the door. So now our door is fully attached and we can proceed with the next part of the locking mechanism. Good. Now the locking mechanism for the door locks. Take caution to install them the right way. The lock will slide in from the lower side. So the opening needs to face downwards for the upper lock and in the opposite way for the lower lock. So next step is the blind covers for the original door holes. So the next part we will need is the actual door locking mechanism. So we're going to start with the handle to install it from the outside. So pay attention. And now we have this little counterpiece for holding it from the inside. So we can install that carefully. And then tighten that with the recommended torque. So next part will be the actual locking mechanism. But then we can place the 2 screws carefully. So now with this in place, we'll take care of up here the plastic holders. So we want to start from the top side. And once this is fixed with washers and nuts, we're gonna take care of the 2 ones at the lower side. So the next part is this little T profile piece for the door locking. So the next piece we need in place is the part for the lower side of the door. So the last part will be the ground potential connection. So this was the last step, and as you can see, changing the side of the door of ETOS is no big deal. Thanks for watching. See you next time.